Hello, everyone. Welcome to Miss Jessie's Online Story Time, brought to you by the Perry County Public Library and me, Miss Jessie, the Children's Youth Services Librarian for the Perry County Public Library. How are you today? That's wonderful. Are you ready to hear a story? Because I'm ready to tell a story. Today's story was checked out through the Perry County Public Library with our Overdrive app in partnership with Kentucky Libraries Unbound, and today's book is published by HarperCollins Children's Books. Pete the Cat, Scuba Cat by James Dean. Pete the Cat is excited. He is going scuba diving. Pete puts on his mask and fins. He has a tank full of air. He helps to see lots of fish. If you're lucky, you might see a seahorse, says Captain Joe. A seahorse, says Pete. I can't wait. I've never saw one before. Their ridges look just like a horse's mane, says Captain Joe. Groovy, says Pete. Pete jumps into the water. Splash! Down, down, down he goes. Up, up, up go the bubbles. Pete looks for a seahorse. He sees a swordfish, and Pete swims out of its way. Do you see a seahorse? Shh. Pete waves to a stingray. It has a long, skinny tail. That's not a seahorse, thinks Pete. Pete looks high and low for the seahorse. Then he feels a tickle. Do you see the seahorse? Pete sees a school of fish. They all look alike except for one. It puffs up. It's a blowfish. It is not a seahorse. Do you see a seahorse? Where could one be? Pete looks in the rocks. What is that? It's an octopus. It has 8 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a seahorse. Do you see the seahorse? Pete feels a tickle. What could it be? Pete turns. He sees a cave. Is there a seahorse inside? Do you see the seahorse? Pete sees a crab with claws. A seahorse does not have claws. Pete thinks. The cave is getting darker. Pete feels a tickle. Then he sees an eel. Pete swims past it, but it's too long to be a seahorse. Oh no, it's too dark to see. How will Pete get out? Pete sees a jellyfish. It glows in the dark. Pete is almost out of the cave. He sees an angelfish. It's very colorful. Do you see the seahorse? I see the seahorse. Pete is out of the cave. So why is it so dark? Pete is in a shadow. He's in the shadow of a whale. Yikes! Do you see the seahorse? Pete wishes he could jump on a seahorse and ride away. Pete hops on a sea turtle instead, and it takes him to the boat. I did not see a seahorse, thinks Pete. He feels a tickle on his tail. A seahorse, cries Pete. What a surprise! You were with me all along, says Pete. What a cool adventure! And that was Pete the cat, the scuba cat. I hope you enjoyed it. Today's craft is inspired by gluedtomycraftsblog.com, and it is a paper plate seahorse. So we're going to need some supplies first. We're going to need a large paper plate, one per seahorse craft. And by large, I just mean a regular size paper plate. We're going to need half of one. Two colorful tissue pieces, like you use to wrap presents with, or construction paper. Two contrasting cardstocks or construction papers. That's going to make your seahorse head and its ridges. You're going to need glue. You're going to need scissors. And remember, when we use scissors, we want to use these with adult supervision. Safety first. Stapler, tape, glue dots. Tape and glue, I found, have worked the best. And a wiggly eye, one per seahorse. The first step that we're going to do with our craft is cut a paper plate in half. This is just one of the inexpensive paper plates. It's kind of wobbly, use them for crafts all the time, and you just want to cut them in half. Next, we're going to take tissue paper or construction paper, and we're going to tear them into small squares. And this is about the size of my thumb pad. And you're going to need a lot of these, but you can start off by making just a little bit, and then you can cut more as you go on. You just need enough to cover your paper plate. And the direction you want to do is here. This is your stomach. This is going to be the part that his head's going to go this way, and the tail's going to go this way. So this is the front that we're going to use. And we're going to glue our paper squares. You can see I've started some on this. I take my glue stick and I put some glue on there. Remember, the thicker you do, the longer it'll take to dry. And you just layer them on there, just a square at a time, just to cover up all the white spots. Or if you want to leave some white spots. It's however you want to do it. It's your seahorse. Just like that. Now we need to cut out our seahorse head, fin, tail, and back spikes. Now, the way I did mine, I decided to cut them in the shapes of something that I know, kind of like a balloon. You can see this, it kind of looks like a deflated balloon for the head, and you want to make it about the size of your palm, because you want that head to be a little bit bigger because it's going to go on your plate. So, almost like a balloon. Now for the back spikes, because we're going to be gluing them behind our plates, I wanted to have enough room that I could either glue or tape these on. So I made it look like a mushroom or a keyhole. It's however you want to describe it, even a balloon again. And for the tail, you might have to get a pencil for this and trace out. I did a curly J for the tail. And I did kind of a clam shape, a shell shape for the side fin. Now we're going to glue or tape our seahorse together. So on the back, I am going to glue my seahorse head. Or you can tape it. Or if you have a stapler and want to staple it. Now, it might take a second for your glue to dry, but that's the way I've done this. And then also on the back, I can start gluing in my ridges. So what I'm going to do is on the stem, I'm going to put some glue. And then on the back of the head, starting at the top, I'm just going to press it. Oh, see, sometimes you got to let the glue dry. And I've got one. And we're going to do another. And we're going to do this all the way down from the head all the way down the straight side of our plate. So we're going to spread them out. They don't have to be on top of each other. Just like that. Just now at the end, at the bottom, we've got our curly J. And we are going to do this just like that. We're going to put it just like that. And you can glue that into place. And then once you have your ridges and your tail glued on, you can glue on your fin and your eye. And you can use a marker to maybe put a little mouth and a nose dot, or put little ridges on the fin. And you have your very own seahorse. I hope you enjoyed today's story and craft. Thanks for watching.